Good evening. Good evening. How you doing? This is Coach Carvel Bailey, and I want to welcome you to another episode of Life and Basketball. And here on this show, what we do is we talk about how the game of basketball as well as life are synergistic and they have so much in common and they go hand in hand with one another. And so what we do on this show is we take athletes, former athletes, coaches, former coaches, officials, former officials, as well as those individuals that have been highly valuable and resourceful in the game of basketball. And we let them share their story of how a little orange ball has helped shape and oftentimes save their lives. And so the show is being brought to you by Bless the Ball Skill Development Academy, as well as Understanding Life Through the Game of Basketball. The show was birthed from this book. I always say this is my baby right here. And this book, as what we do on the show, we break down simple basketball concepts that helps us become better leaders and become better individuals overall, just as people, just as individuals. And everyone that I bring on my show has exemplified this. They understand that the game is bigger than basketball and it offers so many benefits that come along with it. And so tonight on the show, I'm happy to bring back someone who is not a stranger to the show, is very well appreciated and respected around the world for his game of basketball, but also for his deep heart towards people. And so this individual has been very resourceful with me in my life and my business, has been resourceful in other people's lives. He has been a beacon of light and hope for the youth, not only in his community, but all the communities all over the world in which he allowed basketball to take him to. And so tonight, we're still talking solutions to our youth, as well as to help our parents help our youth so that then they can be helpful to all of us in the near future. So I'm happy to present to some and introduce to most somebody that I respect a ton and somebody that I like to call a very good buddy of mine, Mr. Ryan Holmes. How you doing, Rhino? Can you hear me?
What's going on, Coach? I'm good, brother. Bless. How about yourself?
How you doing, man? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes,
I'm good, man. I'm blessed.
I'm doing amazing, man. I'm doing amazing. I'm glad that you could join us as always. I don't take it lightly because I know that, you're always moving and shaking, but I definitely appreciate you taking the time out, and coming on the show tonight and coming on the show, like definitely cheerful and grateful to be able to talk solutions. We're going to talk basketball tonight, but we're really going to talk to our youth and talk about solutions to just help us become better, just all around. So I definitely appreciate you joining us tonight. But before we get started, can you help us understand who exactly is Ryan Holmes, the man?
Got you. Well, first of all, man, I appreciate you for having me. I appreciate everything you do, using your platforms to educate, help. Ever since I first met you, that's the type of energy you always gave off,
Yep.
Not just to me, but everybody I seen you be around. So I definitely appreciate that. Man, I am originally from Chicago Heights, Illinois, born and raised. I am a husband. I am a father, a son, friend, uncle. I wear many hats, man. And I pride myself on all those relationships.
Yeah.
I consider myself to be a conscious individual, really aware of my surroundings, focused on my family, economics, my people. And I live this way 24/7, 365. This is, this is who I am. So real concerned about passing that baton to the next generation, not having them start from scratch, the way
Yeah.
I did, and a lot of my peers did, and even the people that was before me.
Yeah.
Want to hand them a baton, man. So that's how I live my life. Every day. The goal is to be better than I was the first day. I mean, the day before.
I love it. I love it. Now you just, said a couple things, and I always like to go back before we even get into the foundation, because you just talking about you really got into some things and said some things that I want to get, go over people's head. But when you talked about passing the baton to your kids and to your kids, can you break that down?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what exactly is the baton? Because I want to get an understanding of that before we even get into your background, so that we really understand more about what Ryan Holmes, why Ryan Holmes was put on this earth. So when you talk about pass the baton, what is the baton?
So basically, I moved for my last name, not my first name.
I love it.
Uh, at the end of the day, I got two sons. And not only do I have two sons, I have a host of nephews and nieces and just kids that are attached to me.
Yeah.
And I want to put them in positions that I probably didn't obtain until I was 20, 30 years old. My friends, my peers didn't. I want them to have the education. I want them to never have to have poor credit scores. I want them to understand the difference between a liability and an asset. You know what I mean? All of these things, just making sure that I educate them the way I wish I would have been educated when I was their age. Basically running a marathon, man, and not a sprint. That's really what my goal is. And I tell my kids all the time, some of the stuff I say, y'all probably think I'm crazy, but I promise you, the older you get, you'll be like, wow, like Pops was really, he been told me about this. I've been knew about this, So that's what I mean when I say that, but not even just my kids, the next generation, the next generation.
Okay. Now, and I just wanted to, because we may hear that term or that word throughout the show, and I just wanted to just kind of give an overview and understanding what you mean by that. And you so eloquently said, moving for your last name, not your first name, being able to leave something, for being able to pass something off. Really, I mean, is what I'm hearing now. Why is that so important?
Yeah.
So important to you, and considering like that you were born and raised in Chicago Heights, Illinois. Talk to us about how Chicago Heights, Illinois, and growing up in Chicago Heights, Illinois, kind of molded and shaped you into the person that you are today, to where now you want to be able to work so that you can pass something on. Like, can you bridge those two? Like, talk about life growing up in Chicago Heights. How did that, like, what did that do? What did that mold in you to even be able to have this mindset now?
Really about hard work, man. And I don't want to make it seem like my childhood was just so bad, because it wasn't just so bad. We had our rough times, However, my mother made it happen. She made it work, I had a whole community, around me making it work. But what it showed me a few things. One, not to be afraid of hard work, and I also knew what I didn't want to do. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I saw enough examples of what I didn't want. So it allowed me to just avoid those things and figure out exactly what I wanted later on. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But that's what I got. And I remember hearing people like, the goal is, and not knocking nobody at all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if I can get a $20 an hour job, if I can do this, if I can do that. And I'm hearing this, but I'm still equating it to a struggle.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just different things, and people hustling and selling drugs. And I'm like, I don't know too many drug dealers that didn't go to jail or didn't get killed, or you know what I mean. So
Mm-hmm.
it just showed me what I didn't want, and then the part that I did love was that I had a village.
Mm. Okay.
You know, and I had a whole village around me. I had a lot of people that may have been doing some things they shouldn't have been doing, but they protected me from it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just showed me, okay, Coach, did we lose you?
I got you. You was breaking up a little bit. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yep. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me right now? Can you hear me?
Coach.
Just click out and click back in.
Okay, yeah, that was on me. Yeah, I can hear.
So we were with Mr. Ryan Holmes tonight. If you got any questions about, what you would like for Ryan to answer or myself to answer about practical solutions for our youth, and things that we can do to better help serve our youth. And so Rhino is going to really, really get into the practical part, the application part, about building up those skills that our youth can use right away to be able to help them better deal with their emotions, better express their emotions, and be able to take them places, even if it's not college. And I know that may be foreign to some people, like not going to college. But what we're going to talk about is some things tonight, even if it does not involve college. Can you hear me right now?
Am I
Can you hear me? Got that good internet.
good? I'm clear.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Hello? Yeah, I can hear you
Yep.
fine.
Okay. Yep. There you go.
You good?
Yep.
Hello?
So you were, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay. So
You
you
know
were
what
talking.
you know what it was, man?
What? What?
Hey, hey, I wouldn't bought a new phone. I just switched over to this iPhone.
Oh.
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay. 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 Yeah, I'm a Android dude myself, so I don't know how to work them iPhones. But you were talking about you had a village around you. Um, how important was that village in your life?
I can hear you.
How important was that village in your life that you talk about? Can you hear me? This for all you iPhone users. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Mic check, mic check.
Crucial. It was crucial. It was crucial. Can you hear me,
Okay.
Coach?
Yep, yep, yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay. All right. So you was talking about the village. Okay, is that better?
Yeah, let's try this one.
Okay,
Can you
there
hear
you
me?
go. Yeah, that's much better. Much better.
Cool.
Okay, so you were talking about the village. So how important is, and when you say village, you're talking about your mom and like who else?
My mother, grandmother, uncles, aunts, my pops, cousins. My mother is the youngest of 8, so she was born an auntie. So I
Okay.
had a lot of older cousins. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
kind of came off like uncles, and
Yeah.
aunties. So all of those people were crucial, man. Like extremely crucial.
Okay. Okay. Now, what would you say the biggest benefit? Because again, and I want to get directly to the youth, and to be able to give some practical tips to the parents to be able to help the youth. But what was probably one of the biggest benefits of having that village and all those people around you? What was the biggest benefit of having that? Can you hear me? Let's see. We got get Mr. Holmes back on. He moving and shaking. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yep. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Ryan? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? See, you wonder, right? You wonder when you know that there's going to be some good information put out, for our youth, for our kids, for our coaches, for our parents. We know that at times there are people that don't want it to be heard. And so that's what we're dealing with right now, just, a little glitch and, in the system. But hey, this is live, we cut no corners,
Woo wee.
this is real
That's
live.
true now.
And at times technology does its own thing. And so, but we're going to get this message out before you and for our youth. We definitely gonna do it. Can you hear me, Ryan?
I can hear you, man. You know
Okay.
what I feel like right now?
Who?
Hey, I feel like what's your boy name? Teddy Riley right now. That's what I feel
like. This ain't nobody coming back to see you, Teddy.
like.
um, so I was just saying that when you know that you have something valuable and something powerful, there are I mean, there's ways and forces that don't want it to come out, but we gonna press through this thing and be able to get this message out. So my question
Definitely.
was, what was the most valuable piece about having that village? Like because there are so many people that say that, hey, I got a tight circle, or my squad or my family, but everybody don't get the same feelings or the same things from them. So you having that village around you that helped you push through, like what was the biggest benefit of having that village around you?
Um, Keeping me on the right path, man.
Mm,
I had a lot of older cousins that may have been off into things they shouldn't have been off into, but they
yeah.
didn't allow me to.
Okay.
I actually shared that with a cousin of mine a couple months ago.
Okay.
Uh, they always saw things in me that I couldn't always see in myself.
Mm,
I got an auntie, my aunt Cora. Every time she see me, compliment me, man, and,
mm,
and, and just boost my spirit. I had a chipped tooth growing up, and she would always tell me I had a beautiful smile. I
mm.
didn't understand how she could say I had a beautiful smile. I got a big chipped tooth,
Right.
but she would always tell me that, and you can feel that she meant that.
Mm,
So that's what my village did for me. I had a cousin that he told me I was flunking out in 8th grade. He said, "Man, listen, you graduate, and I'm gonna fly you to El Paso, Texas."
mm,
I graduated. He flew me to Texas. I saw mountains. I knew right then I wanted to see the world.
mm,
At 14. So it was just a lot of people jumping in and assisting. from cousins to my parents,
Mm-hmm.
even friends, so
Yeah.
they just kept me going where I was supposed to go, man, and
Okay.
protected me from things I didn't even know I needed protection from.
That's a big word, protection. Yeah. That's a big word. And I'm hearing those words of affirmation, from your aunt was big, because every time that you saw her, the first thing that you got was something positive, as opposed to a lot of times the first thing that I used to get, from when an adult sees them is something that may be considered or taken in a negative fashion. I was speaking earlier about, on another show about at times it's unfortunate that my generation, which includes you and the younger generation, can be perceived as having bad intentions.
Yeah.
And so, a lot of times, because of that perception of those bad intentions, the first response that we normally get from adults that we don't know, and even sometimes the ones that we do know, is some sort of correction or something negative. So, it definitely sounds like that just seeing her and being around her, even regardless whatever type of energy was going on, that was something that was going to boost your spirit. So, I guess that we can start tonight with, even though people have villages around them, even though people may have circles around them and think that it's tight, but you have to have those people that are going to pour into you, if it's words of affirmation, if it's just information, love, knowledge, but you have to be around people that's going to pour into you and add value to your life. Would you agree with that?
Facts.
Mm.
Definitely.
And hence is why most people play sports, because now they can be part of a group.
Yeah.
But ultimately is also the reason why people join gangs, so that they
Yep.
can be part of a group.
Definitely.
So I think that everybody wants to feel appreciated and feel loved, but it's where are they getting it from? And you saying that you were able to get that from within the people that was closest to you, as opposed to having to go out and get it from other sources.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Now that's huge.
Like I said, my family, my aunts, my cousins, a lot of people used to pour into me, man.
Yeah, that's huge.
Like really. Definitely.
And even the ones that weren't doing what you wanted to do, but I think that you stated that they understood that you couldn't even come that way. Like we can't even allow for ourselves.
I tried to sell some weed.
Okay.
It lasted for an afternoon. You hear me? Like it lasted for an afternoon. Like
Okay.
it wasn't none of that shaking. Like it just wasn't happening. You know what I mean? And I really appreciate them for what they did. I had a cousin, big time drug dealer on the east side of Chicago Heights.
Yeah.
He tell me, no, you just come ask me for what you want. Period. You know what I'm saying? And he just didn't allow it, so I got a lot of protection, bro, like for real. And I didn't understand it at the time, but the older I got, I really realized that they was shielding me, man, from a lot of bad things.
So let's get right into it. And I've always said the youth really haven't changed a lot. It's really the adults. So would you say that we need to hold our youth more accountable?
We do, but we gotta lead the way. You gotta lead by example.
Break that down.
Yeah, you gotta lead by example. So a person is only gonna do what you say for so long. They're gonna do what you do. Like when I look at my kids, both of them, they see me stretching, they see me working out every day. They want to stretch, they want to work out. And even though once they start doing it, they're like, oh, well, this hard, this hurt. You know what I mean? They'll be more inclined to push through the pain and the difficult part because they see I do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I preach to them about business. They say, okay, well, daddy, he got his business. They more open and willing to listen and do it. I buy my son, my oldest one, a business, not a little one, like, oh, well, I want a business too. You know what I mean? But if I'm just telling them this, uh, they only gonna listen for so long, man. It is what it is. So we do have to hold them accountable, but we also gotta lead by example.
We got to lead by example. Yeah, yeah, I like that. And you said people gonna only do what we say do for so long.
Yeah,
because at a certain point, if you're not doing it, they're gonna recognize either you a fool for thinking that they're gonna believe you, or they're a fool for seeing you. And it's different because again, as you said, even growing up, it was more do as I say as opposed to do what I do.
yeah,
But so times are changed, so we have to now not stick with what helped us make it, but we do have to be okay with making adjustments.
yeah. The world is changing,
So
and that's what we gotta understand. The world is different. I grew up in the '80s, in the '90s. This is not that world.
Yep.
So them same rules don't apply. You know what I mean? And then you go back a generation before that, the rules don't apply. That's why I tell people you got to be okay with change. You know what I'm saying? What mama was telling me, she was telling me because that's what applied then. And that's what she knew to the best of her knowledge.
Yeah.
That don't mean that works now.
That don't mean it works
now. No disrespectful to my mama and my daddy, but they don't flow like that no more.
And most times they were teaching all that they knew.
Exactly.
To be right. So yeah, and that's why as always, and every episode is different based on who I'm speaking with. And the title of tonight's episode is Solutions to Evolution. Because we have to know what we can do to help us evolve. Because if we don't evolve, then we're gonna dissolve and just disappear in everything that's going on. So now, for growing up, you had a strong village. You went to high school and you had an amazing story. You weren't necessarily athletic, as you would say. And I'm just kind of giving the cliff notes, but with a broken hand and everything, even senior year, but you were able to overcome and not only play high school basketball, but play college basketball and then go overseas and be a European veteran and now a retired European veteran. That's back home doing some great things with people and with business. But with basketball, can you talk about how basketball helped provide solutions for you to navigate through Chicago Heights all the way over to all of the countries that you've been through?
Got you. Basketball was like another block on top of my foundation because I was never afraid of hard work. Just having the parents I had, my grandparents, my aunts and uncles.
Yeah.
But I went to Gavin. Anybody know Gavin Elementary? What I'm saying? East Side Chicago Heights. I went to Gavin School. Emerson Cool was my coach. He was no nonsense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're gonna run, you're gonna work, to get on the court. And even if you don't get on the court, you're still gonna put in the work. So that helped me be unafraid to put in the work. It made me be able to work with others, communicate. Because it used to be a point I just want to cry. You know what I mean? Anybody that really know me from kindergarten, first, second, third grade, he a crybaby. You know what I mean? That's how I communicate. I didn't know no other way. So that kind of got knocked out just from sports. You know what I'm saying? And just growing through basketball and starting to set goals for myself, man. Kind of fast forward to high school. I was so small and little, and I was letting that just beat up my confidence. And once I kind of grew, I got some height on me. Then I got my confidence back, and I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. Let me write these goals down and start affirming things. I didn't know I was affirming things, but I'm affirming things, and it just made me willing to put the work in, man. I understood that if I was willing to put in the sweat equity, that I would get results. I mean, if I didn't want to put in the work, I wasn't gonna get no results. So that's really what basketball showed me, man. Hey, listen, whatever you give it, it's gonna give you and a little more. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna get some things you ain't even know you deserve. You know what I mean? If you put in the work. So that's really what basketball gave me, man. And then once I kind of kept going, I'm like, damn, all right, I'm developing. And I remember my college coach was the first person to tell me, hey man, you can get paid to do this. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. I mean, even if at the very least you can go overseas. And he told me that. He should have never told me that. Because I grabbed it, I held on to it, and now that fire going.
Yeah.
And now I want to put in the work, I want to do it.
Yeah.
And it kind of went to that, man. And I don't even know if I ever mentioned this on your show, but Craig Hodges was a big part of that. How I got my first opportunity to go play overseas. You know, Hodge called me up, hey, come to LA. Come to LA? Yeah, come to LA. Get to LA. And he was the first person to really show me how to be a professional. But it's all about putting in the work. You know what I'm saying? And to answer your question again, it was really about being willing to put in that sweat equity, put in the work, you'll get the results. You know what I'm saying? Even coming from a small school like I did. You know what I mean? Little bitty small HBCU in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody going overseas to get paid like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Myself on the court, they're like, Philander, what? Okay, I'm gonna show you. You know what I mean? I'm gonna show you. Period. So just being willing to put in the work, man.
Okay. Yeah. No. And you mentioned, you know, hard work a few times, and you know, I always say that, you know, it's a difference in working hard and hard work, and you know, those that work hard do it all the time. And you know, as you said, just you know, having that in you to be able to, you know, make it through, to be able to work hard, and really to be able to get through adversity when everything doesn't seem right, because as you said, you know, all the good things are on the other side of that hard work, you know, which, and you know, but part of that working hard to get through that hard work is those pain points. And you know, you have to be able to deal with the adversity that's going to cause that pain so that you can make it through. So after you know, did all that, I mean, you've always been, as you said, you know, conscious about family and economics and passing the baton. And so, like, this is where I want to kind of just pause and land on tonight. When we talk about solutions for our youth, I mean, one, we know that our youth are very, very intelligent. Like, we understand that, you know, the youth, the individuals that's younger than us are very, very intelligent. We just don't necessarily give them the lane all the time to be and to show that intelligence, because we want to kind of pull the reins and kind of hold them back. Once we do that, and oftentimes now it's a difference in helping them pivot and us grabbing them, placing them where they need to go. And I think because of that judgment, as I was saying, that what your auntie didn't give you, and I'm pretty sure if I would ask you with your auntie, you was probably comfortable to do or say anything around her because you were okay being vulnerable around her because she was pouring into you, as opposed to, you know, with a lot of our youth, they kind of hold back or don't show us their true them because of that feeling of being rejected or that feeling of being ridiculed. So can you talk about what practical skills for that youth that say, okay, you know what, I really like my family too. You know, I have a village around me. I'm not sure how much they can help me, but I know what I don't want to do. And that's, I think, the part that got blew over with what you said. You didn't necessarily know what you wanted to do.
Right.
And I've heard this on several episodes since we've been talking about solutions. Even if our youth don't know what they want to do at this point, because there's so much white noise, there's, you know, so many voices that's going on, but at least know what you don't want to do by some of the things that you see people doing, that you know that you don't want to do. And so that person to say, okay, well, I know that I don't want to get into the drugs, the gangs, the violence, the thieving, nothing positive that's going to not help me. But I just don't really know what to do because let's be honest, I might not be a good student. And so because people are telling me to go to college, it's frustrating.
Right.
Because I'm really not a good student.
College ain't for everybody.
And I don't want to go to college. You know what I'm saying? And so let's talk to that person tonight, because we always talking about the athletes and getting scholarships and the coaches, but frankly honest, it's still some athletes that just playing but don't really want to go to the NBA. There are some, I'm sorry to bust your bubble. There are so many that want to go to the NBA, so many that think they're going to a major Division I, but there are some that really just want to play to do something in high school or to use basketball to help pay for their education.
Nice.
But then there are just some that they love the game, but they're not really looking for a career out of it. So let's talk to those people tonight. They like, yeah, I know I don't want to do this. I don't want to go to college. I don't really want to have a job that's going to pay me what I think I'm less, worth than what I feel as though I deserve. So what can I do, Mr. Holmes? Like, what type of skills can I acquire like that can, let's say, be exempt of a financial crisis?
Okay. So I think one of the first things is, we kind of mentioned it earlier, we don't pour enough into self. And I'm talking about nobody, but especially the Black community. Dealing with self. If we start teaching and educating our babies, or even ourselves, but definitely our babies, the power that we just have within, they'd be unstoppable. Okay. If they understood that they have millions of cells in their body, and all their cells are listening. You know what I'm saying? We 80% water. Water is the most duplicatable molecule in the universe. So if you're 80% water, and water constantly duplicates itself, you drop some water in the water, it's just gonna duplicate, right? So if you are water and you constantly, with all these thoughts and these cells are making all these movements, whatever you're saying to you, whatever you thinking, whatever you feeling, whatever it is, it is going to manifest into the physical. Okay. So if you that kid and you, oh man, I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm tired. I'm trying. I'm this. All of these things that have no goal is nothing positive. That's what's going to manifest. So the first thing, if we can just get them to understand the power of their mind, they already be winning. You understand what I'm saying? What I try to teach my boys is what I wish I knew at their age, about affirmations, incantations, being positive. And sometimes being positive is just simply not being negative. Everybody not going to be happy-go-lucky every day. I'm not, you not, nobody is. But if you can simply just not be negative, you already winning. Okay. Then some honest self-assessment. If you're a young man in high school, you're trying to figure it out, and maybe you don't know, but just if you're trying to figure it out, some things that you would enjoy doing. Take the money out of it. Take what your parents saying out of it. Just be honest with yourself and ask yourself, what would I enjoy doing? Okay? Whatever that is, then we're going to reverse engineer the whole thing. Say, for example, say if he say he want to be a barber. Okay? Now we're going to reverse engineer. What we got to do to be a barber? You got to go to barber school. You know what I'm saying? And all these things. And we start writing these things down and executing. But what we got to do as parents is we got to stop putting pressure on our kid to reach goals that we didn't reach in our lives. I see that too much. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to play basketball and you want to play baseball and you ain't reached the goals you want to reach. Now you're going to put it on the kid. Or put pressure on the kid to come save the day. You know what I mean? To make it big or whatever. That's BS. And we got to stop doing it. We got to stop doing that. And we have to give them tools, because the truth of the matter is
We're all geniuses. There's
Yeah.
genius in you.
Yeah.
It's just locked up. You got to unlock it. So your job as the parent is to provide guidance and provide the tools. You know what I'm saying?
Put in that toolbox. Yeah.
Put it in the toolbox. Period.
Yeah.
Bottom line. So if my son, like I wanted him to just straight play basketball before COVID happened. Oh, we're gonna sign you up for basketball. My man tell me he want to do soccer.
Yeah.
Bet. Okay, let's do soccer then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then COVID happened. We didn't get to do it. But he stuck on it. He wanted the little one want to play soccer.
Yeah.
We're gonna go play soccer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because it's okay to play soccer. Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
And we don't know what he's gonna learn from that.
Yeah.
But we have to start being, we have to guide instead of control. The Black community, we like to control. You know what I'm saying? Just guide. That's all we need to do. Guide, and plant the seeds, water the seeds.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
These kids gotta be locked in on the energy that they're giving off, the mental, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. You can never get where you want to go if you can't feel better than what you feel right now. You know what I'm saying? Like if the feeling can't enhance or change, you can't get there.
You can't.
You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about what I think. This is just the science of it. You know what I mean? So we got to start.
You're not going to be as motivated and, ready to get up and go. And I think that you made a good point saying that they need to be locked into. And I think that that our youth need to be locked into what they want to do more.
Yes.
Because I think a lot of times our youth are locked into what they think we want them to do. Yep. And so now they're walking around doing things for us as adults, be it if it's parents, be it if it's teachers, other educators, other coaches. Now I'm going around and doing things that I think that's going to make you look good, right? From your ego standpoint, whatever, even as my parent, even as my coach, right? But now I make you look good based on what I do. So now I'm walking around trying to pigeonhole myself into these few things so that I can make sure that either I make you look good or I don't make you look bad. But all the while, now I'm playing the game with the wrong equipment on, and it's frustrating because now I'm playing, basketball with helmets and a shoulder pad on, and that's stressful. That's weighing me down. So I think that they have to stay locked in on what they want to do. Go ahead.
Your kid might supposed to own the team, but you want them to play for the team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You take them away because you want them to be the starting point guard. This man might supposed to be an engineer and develop something that changed the world and own the team. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to give them the tools, man. And as far as the kid, things that you can do right now to enhance your situation, take control. This is what I tell people. Take control the first hour of your day and the last hour of the day. This is something that you can start doing today. You know what I'm saying? Take control of the first hour of your day. This goes for adults too. But take control of that first hour and last hour. Have a routine. You know what I'm saying? Start understanding how your body works. You know what I mean? Put yourself in a routine. All right? Understand what affirmations are. Speak to you. Be honest with yourself. Set some long-term goals, some short-term goals, some goals for this week, some goals for today. When you go to your job, they already got planned out what you need to do.
What you need to do.
So why the hell wouldn't you do it for yourself? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They already got it. They already got it. I need you to hit these numbers.
Yeah.
When you go to school, you got to go this class, this class, this class, and you need to get this type of grade to get this.
It's already planned out.
Have intentional days.
Yeah.
Is what I always tell myself.
I like that.
Have intentional days. So I already know I need to be boom, 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 boom. Me and my brother be on each other about that. Having intentional days.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And make sure you surround yourself with people that put you in order. Hell, my wife put me in order.
Yeah.
My parents are still put me in order. And you have to be okay with that. I'm almost 40, but them, my frat brothers, sometimes you got to get put straight. That's how you grow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how you stay on
call you to the carpet and they're going to hold you accountable. But now that first hour and that last hour, can you break that down? Because I don't want you to zoom past that. Why is that so important? What do you mean, Ryan, when you say take control of the first hour? Like the first hour, I'm probably yawning. I'm trying to get my mind together. with what I'm doing. You know, I'm probably picking up my phone, checking social media, you know, all of that. Why is that first and that last hour so important?
All right, so when you let's start with the first one. When you first waking up, you know what I mean, that's gonna help you determine what this day gonna be.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we want to get off into some positive vibrations. Everything is energy vibrations, you know what I mean, and frequencies.
Absolutely.
That's just what it is.
Yeah.
It don't matter if you know it or not, that's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you wake up, let's say when I first get up, man, I'm trying to drink me 2 to 3 bottles of water. You know what I'm saying? Just to get everything functional. You know what I mean? And wake myself up. Might do some little light stretching. I don't do a whole lot light stretching. I'm starting my day, getting myself together. Ideal situation is to have my clothes already ironed. A lot of times I don't. I might iron them, but I already got in my head before I go to sleep what I'm gonna wear.
Yeah.
So I don't have to be using my brain power to find something. You know what I mean?
I love that.
I'm gonna watch something positive. It might be just 5 minutes, 2 minutes, but I'm gonna watch something on YouTube, something that's gonna get me going. It's a great little link. I've been watching this for 12 years. It's called I Am a Champion. And one of the best speeches you ever gonna see. Dude make you want to run through a wall. But I'm gonna watch something that's gonna get me going on a positive note. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna go on about my day. But that's my first hour of the day. I'm not gonna break my fast heavy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna wake up and eat bacon, eggs, and all this. Yeah. Because that's a whole shock to your system. Yeah. That's a whole nother. That's a whole nother conversation. But I'm not gonna break my fast heavy like that. I'm gonna drink me some water, going on about my day. Yeah. Fast forward to the end of the night, I think is more crucial than the beginning almost. Because what we fail to realize is just because you sleep, your brain's still working. Your brain's still going, it's still putting in work, it's still operating. All right. So I'm gonna tell you what I used to do, coach. I was real heavy into Walking Dead. Sunday nights, Walking Dead. Come on, bro. I'm finna watch Walking Dead and I go to sleep. Terrible. Terrible to watch that type of stuff and then go to sleep. Yeah. Let's rewind and go to present day. Right now, all hell is breaking loose because the police decided to kill another brother. Yeah. Now all you see on this television is violence. Yeah. Emotion. You watch that before you go to sleep. Now you can't even be at peace. You can't even get no good rest. Yeah. When God brought you here, your body healed itself. Yeah. But if it study working overtime, you can't get no peace. You can't be chill. You want to eat a heavy meal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, bro. Shut the food down. 7, 6, 7, 8 o'clock. Yeah. Drink you some water before you go to sleep. Lay on your left side. You know what I mean? All of these things that help you get peaceful rest so you can be ready for the next day. But you got to control that day. Another thing the young kids can do, even adults, have you some affirmations. You know what I'm saying? I am strong. I am a king. I am healthy. I am love. You know what I'm saying? These are the type of things I tell myself. Yeah. You can have your own thing going on. You know what I mean? But you do this before you go to sleep. And that's how you control the first and the last hour of your day. It'll make a world of difference. You know what I'm saying? A world of difference. Even before you go to sleep, throw some notes in your phone. Okay, tomorrow I need to do this. 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 I can't, in my daytime, get this done. Now you got your itinerary. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you think everybody got a plan for you. Everybody. You need to have a plan for you. You know what I'm saying? Every time a business open up, they got a plan for your butt to come in. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Every time they open up another anything, you know, they got a plan for you. So it's just about taking control and seizing the day.
And we're more reactive because we aren't taking control of. And I wanted you to break it down before I kind of, got into it on the back end. But what happens is because I haven't kind of set the tone for my mind and my body, that at the beginning of the day, I'm on my phone, I'm checking messages, emails, all that. So now I'm reacting to everything that everybody else is doing. Oh, let me respond to this email. Let me post this. Let me answer this. Let me like. Now you're reacting to everything that's going on. And then the last hour, and it's so crucial because, as you said, now if you going to sleep on that, you aren't able to get rest. And it's a whole difference. And I want for our young people to understand this. it's a huge difference in getting sleep and getting rest.
Big difference.
Because we can go to sleep. If you haven't been asleep for a while and wake up and you're still tired. Or on the flip side, if you've had what, we call it at our age, one of them power naps. It's like, man, I've been asleep 10 minutes and feel like that I've been asleep for an hour, but you were able to get rest. Yep. And I think the rest is not able to be accomplished based on, as you said, everything that's going on in our minds. So that's good. That's very practical. Take over that first hour and that last hour, and really that first hour and that last hour is really when our subconscious, when our conscious mind is really working, because oftentimes we live in that subconscious state, which is that more negative, you know what I'm saying? Because we always hearing something negative and seeing something negative. So we always playing those old things. But when we're conscious, and as you said, in the morning, our brain is working at its best. So you're not going to, break your fast and not totally put it into shock. So, I think that one of the first things that our youth can do is start taking advantage of that first hour and that last hour. It's okay to say, hey, I owe it to myself 2 of these 24, even grown-ups, you know what I'm saying? 2 of these 24, like, can you, like, and wow, just, how things work, but like, owe yourself that Gigi and Kobe, you know what I'm saying? That, 2 out of that 24, like that's what we owe ourselves. And you also said something about, one, you were saying, understand the power of our mind. And I want for our parents to understand this tonight, our coaches, and, anybody that's working with youth, to be able to employ and give back to our youth. So what Ryan says first, that we have to help our youth understand the power that they have in their own body, the power they have in their own mind. And again, this is for the individuals that probably don't want to go to college, probably know what they don't want to do, but they still have to do something. Well, understand what they can do to be, better than what they were. Be positive, and being positive really means just don't be negative.
You're winning right there.
That's right. So don't be negative, right? Understand the power that you have. Don't be negative. And the third thing is really, 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 really tough. Self-assessment, because when you understand the power that you have, you can really start to look at, because don't let that assessment word make you think, oh, it's a big test, so I got to know a lot. But you just have to kind of, if you understand what you bring, and if you don't be negative towards what you bring, you can look and see what more you need to do to kind of get there. So I think that's positive. And then Ryan said the fourth thing was that first and that last hour. So those are, and as he said, just because you sleep, and I never heard it put that way, that's because you sleep, but your brain's still working. So so those are 4 critical things that anybody can do right now, today, when they wake up tomorrow, that last hour today, when they wake up tomorrow. But now for that person, so they're starting to do that. They, starting to understand. But again, it's frustrating because I'm just not into school. Like, I just, I think that maybe the educational system is not for me. Maybe it ain't working, but what type of things can I do, Mr. Holmes? Because you've been talking about, like, the economics, and like, I'm speaking to myself about what, I know that I kind of like to work with my hands, or I'm smart, so I know it's some things that I need to do. How do I go about getting those skills?
Got you. So, and I know parents might not care for what I'm gonna say, but it don't make it not the truth. Mm-hmm. Bottom line is, school is not for everybody.
Yeah,
right? It's just not. Even high school, it's just not for everybody.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, a man like you and I created these curriculums that he felt what's best for the people.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So just because your kid's getting all these A's, all that's telling me is he know how to retain some knowledge. He can regurgitate a lot of times. It don't make him intelligent. Okay. Yeah. And just because a kid can't do that, don't make him dumb.
Yeah.
All right. These kids need to know that first and foremost.
Yeah.
Next thing is these kids got to understand they have something that a lot of us didn't have. Your generation didn't have it, and even mine didn't.
Yeah.
I still remember trying to get on the internet and have to hear all them sounds. We had the internet at the house. A lot of them have smartphones.
Yeah.
They can Google, they can research the research, and they can figure out a lot of the answers. Everything on the internet is not true. However, if you put some work in, you can get to the bottom of most things, especially when we're talking about career-wise. Let's say they want to be a welder. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or something to use their hands or whatever.
Yeah.
You can look these things up. Okay, once I turn 18, who offer what, how much it costs? Do they offer scholarships? You can do that. But you have to be adamant about whatever it is that you want. You know what I mean? Find a mentor. All right? Find a mentor. I remember old head frat brother of mine told me, he said, a smart man learns from his mistakes. A wise man learns from other people's mistakes.
Say that again.
A smart man learns from his mistakes.
Yeah.
A wise man learns from other people's mistakes. You want to be wise. You can be young and be wise. All right. Find you a mentor. Find you somebody who is, doing the things that you want to do.
There you go. There you go. Because if I want to be a welder, I don't need to necessarily find a coach for my mentor.
Nuh-uh. Find somebody who's doing what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And attach yourself to them. Be willing to learn. Read. You know what I'm saying? And do the research. But it's there for the taking. You don't have to necessarily go to college. And I advise people, I'm gonna say this on the record. If your kid don't know what they want to do, don't push them to school. Unless they got a full scholarship, then that's cool. Because they can figure it out. They got 2 years, they can do the basics, and it's free. But they ain't got no full scholarship. Let these babies figure it out. We also got to stop pushing our kids out the house at 18. That don't make no sense. They're not prepared. Again, a man who felt like 18 makes you grown came up with these rules and regulations. These kids not ready for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
they have no skills at that point, really.
Yeah, they're not ready for it. You know what I mean? So what they have to do is, again, honest self-assessment and have enough confidence and bravery and courage to pursue what it is that's making them feel good on the inside. You understand what I'm saying? Just because your friend going to Duke or he going to U of I or wherever he going, if that ain't what you want to do, that's okay.
Yeah.
That don't mean you ain't gonna be successful. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's really about having that confidence, man, and attaching yourself to somebody who's going to pour into you. I mean, kind of back to what I was saying.
Back to that village.
Into me. Yeah. You know what I mean, I knew I wanted to go to college. I seen cousins, whether they play basketball, play football, ran track, male and female. I seen it. I'm like, oh my goodness, I want to do that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I want to, you feel me? And I would pay attention to them, So they got to pay attention, man, and attach themselves to somebody who doing what they want to do. Yeah. Research the research and read. That's what I would say. A lot of things that's not the coolest things to do, when you that age, but it's gonna pay off. I know a lot of people that's real cool. They're struggling these days.
They're struggling because they was putting up a facade, and I think that goes back to what you were saying, right? You can find the mentor, the person that's doing what you're doing what you would like to do, attach yourself to them, be coachable, do your research on it, but you have to, at some point, which goes back to point one, that you may understand the power that's in your mind that you got, because a lot of people may want to do it, but they lack the courage or the confidence in themselves to do it, because as they look around at their village or they look around at their circle, ain't nobody else, as you said, stepping out.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to look like all the lame, so to speak, because I want to do something better with myself. Like, okay, don't none of us like class, But I know I just don't want to be sitting on the porch for the next 20, 30 years. But it's a lot of our youth that's afraid of whatever condemnation they think is the feedback they're going to get from doing the right thing. But that's why you said now, and that fear comes from, correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan, because we've both dealt with, adversity. We've both failed, right? FAIL, but that confidence or lack of confidence, lack of courage, lack of bravery comes from we're afraid how we gonna look if we fail.
Yeah, and you know what I tell my kids, I tell anybody that if you could have, how do I say it? If you can get what you wanted to have, you already have it. Mm-hmm. If you can get it being who you are right now, you already have it. So that means you don't have to change. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because if who you was today could get you what you want, you will have it already. So that alone lets you know that adjustments have to be made. And sometimes you might fall, but you got to pick yourself up. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to be first. It's okay to fall. It's okay to keep pushing. You know what I mean? Because those are the people that make it on the other side. You know what I'm saying? Those are the people that find success. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and the beautiful thing about a dream or desire or want is the only person got to believe in it is you. That's it.
Is you.
You're the only person. Nobody else has to believe in it.
Is you. Now, let me say that again for the people. I want to slow that down. So Ryan just said, if you could get what you wanted with who you already were, you already have it. So, like, think about that. If you want to be, you want to graduate, you want to be a tremendous business owner, you want to go to the NBA, but if you were able to get that right now as you are today, it'll already be yours.
Yep.
That means that we have to transform and we have to learn, we have to evolve into, we have to
grow.
Grow. We have to be that human becoming into what it is that we already want. But now, so, a lot of people may not know again. So after, basketball was over and, you retired, you kind of knew that you wanted to build things to be able to pass that baton. And, you wanted to not only be able to pass the baton to your kids and your family, but also pass the baton of that knowledge back to your communities as well. Because you always talk about, even though you're not physically living where you grew up, but you are always referring to and giving information back to your community to be able to help them. So you're in the financial services sector, and and that's kind of a huge realm. But this is just me, and I'm gonna let you talk on it with this. One particular skill or one particular service that's never gonna go out of business is one in the realm of financial services. Do you agree?
Yeah. Things have changed, but long as you're willing to learn and change as well, you will always find some work.
Yeah. So for those persons, be it if it's a bank, be it if it's taxes, if it's, credit,
insurance,
and
retirement,
insurance, all of that. What are some of the first things that I need to know to kind of get into this like bulletproof field of like financial services? Because you have Simmons and Holmes Financial, with you and your brother, and so like talk to us about that first, Simmons and Holmes Financial, and then break down to us like what are some common economic things that our youth should know so that they can just have those skills to be able to last them throughout, that point in which, say, they first start working, young adult, because I had a young lady that I used to work with when I was a dean at the high school, and she asked the social worker, like, who is FICA? Like, and why they taking money out my check? And we was like, and that goes back to what you said. But this person then came all the way through this school, 4 years and graduated, and they have no idea who FICA.
Maybe drink the rest of my water on that
one. Yeah, who FICA is. So talk to us about Simmons and Holmes Financial, and then break down some of the things, some of the practical solutions, some of the steps and things that our youth need to know just about basic financial education.
Gotcha. So Simmons and Holmes Financial is a tax consultant business and financial service company that my brother and I started. Started almost 5 years ago.
Okay.
And long story short, I was always interested in the things that oppress us as a people. One of the things that I know holds us back is the finances, economics.
Yeah.
Because I never really liked numbers growing up. I didn't like numbers at all. So what kind of pulled me into this is when I saw that, okay, me educating me, I can educate people to lower their taxes, things like that, you know. So that's how we got into it. And I didn't even tell my little brother. He called me and said it to me that he thinking about doing taxes. I'm like, what? So when he said it, it wasn't no hesitation. I'm like, cool, let's do it, you know. So that's how we started and kind of grew from there, man. Use the names because at the end of the day, it's not about Ryan or Stanton. It's about our last names, you know, and being able to pass that on, and my sons and my nieces and my nephews seeing that, so on and so forth. But we're both certified tax consultants, licensed insurance providers, and we do a few different things. Just at the end of the day, to educate and assist people. I tell people all the time, when you come to me, you're not coming to me for me to prepare your taxes. You're coming to me so I can enhance your tax situation. Totally different. You go to other people, not gonna say no names. And when I say other people, I'm talking about these big name companies. A lot of times they're just preparing your taxes. That's it. They're prepping your taxes, and that's what you're gonna get. And you know, it is what it is. Some people only need their taxes prepped because they have some working knowledge. But if you don't have any working knowledge as to how to lower your taxation, then you need a little hand holding, which is okay. That's where the education come in. So that's what we do, man. That's what we enjoy. I've seen people take my advice and on just lowering their taxes and walk away from their jobs, you know. So it's a beautiful thing, pure point blank. Far as, I know your second question was things that the kids need to know. These are the things that we have to teach our babies. Hands down, we have to teach our babies. There's a few things that attack us that we don't even see that is happening. Inflation being one of them. Taxation, another one. Big business and bad decision making, okay? Start with inflation. When I was a kid, I can literally get a haircut for $5. Nice haircut, okay? Now, haircuts, 15, 20 bucks for a kid, you know what I'm saying? And that just one example of inflation, the worth of the dollar. You know what I'm saying? Bread, gas when I was growing up cost 80 cents, 79 cents a gallon, you know? Coach, can you hear me? You can hear me? I can't hear you. But that's inflation. Taxation, another thing we don't really pay attention to. Prime example, you know, we'll run and go get us a new car. We're so excited to get this new car. And we ain't really looking at the interest rates. We ain't understanding that, you know, that if it's 10%, you paying another $8, $9, $10, $11,000 on the vehicle. That hurt. You know what I mean? Rewind. A lot of people don't understand how to up their W-4 properly. They overpaying in taxes. You know what I mean? To the point that they trying to get a refund at the end. We don't even understand what the refund is. I tell people all the time, unless you have some type of credit, you don't want a refund. If you don't have no credit, you don't want a refund, because only thing that's happening is the bank is taking your overpaid money and they're investing it. Then they give you what they took back. You know, they give you your $2,000 and they done made 10 off your 2. You can educate yourself and you can do the same thing. But our kids need to understand that. You understand what I'm saying? if you got credit cards, you got good credit scores. Instead of putting your kids' stuff, your stuff in your kid's name, like it used to happen with us, why don't you take your kid, put them on your credit card, and it's called piggybacking. It's not going to affect your card. It's not going to affect your score. They're going to mail you in a credit card with your kid's name on it. You can burn it up, tear it up, burn it up. But what's going to happen is your kid, 15, 16 years old, he will start accumulating credit. By the time he's 18, 19 years old, he got a 700 credit score. You've educated him. You got him him or her a credit card, and they understand the do's and don'ts. When I got my first credit card, I was 18. I was buying McDonald's off of it because I was hungry in school because I lacked knowledge. You know what I mean? Bad decision making. This one gonna make people uncomfortable, but it don't mean it ain't the truth. Think about this. Every month, almost every month of the year, there's a holiday, there's something that somebody made a plan for you to spend money and we doing it. Bad decision making. You understand what I'm saying? So New Year's, Valentine's Day, February, March, you got St. Patrick's Day, April, you got Easter, so on and so forth. Bad decision making. So all of these things are constantly happening and we're not really responding to them. We're reacting, we reacting instead of being proactive. But these are the things we have to educate the kids on. We educate them on that, we can start creating generational wealth. Think about this. If you're overpaying taxes every year, now let's say $2,000, and you do this for 20 years, that's $40,000. What could you have done with $40,000 with solid, sound investments, compounding interest?
Yeah,
that's your retirement right there.
Yeah,
that's your nest egg right there. But we don't really see it for that. So that's what I enjoy. That's what we enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Being able to teach that and tell kids that and even their parents. If you got a business, I tell people, I don't care what you're doing. You can't afford not to have a home-based business. You know what I'm saying? You just can't afford it. Sometimes my messages be a little harsh. Sometimes they don't be the right way. But the fact of the matter is, you save $3,000 to $9,000 by having a home-based business. I ain't gonna go into all the details, but tax shelter is something that we have to get into. Period. This is what the wealthy do. This is what a lot of Caucasians do. People of African descent, we don't really get off into it. We're not educating ourselves on it, but teach these babies. Bottom line, you can hire your kid. People don't understand you can hire your kid and you can pay your kid up to $12,000 legally, morally, ethically, as long as it makes sense. And your kid ain't got to pay taxes. And then you can take that same $12,000 and write it off on your money. Money still stay in the house. It's legal. Coach, I can't hear you. Yeah, I can hear you a little bit now. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep, perfect.
Okay.
But these are the things that we got to get off into, man, and educate our kids about. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we don't do that, we're perpetuating the same stuff on and on and on and on. It only gets worse. You know what I'm saying? So things like that, things you can do right now. If you got a credit card, you got a sound credit score, call them, put your kid on the credit card. If it ain't gonna hurt your credit score, it's gonna build theirs up. Something else you can do. Take a look at your W-4. All right. If you don't understand it, hit me up. If not, you can YouTube it. It'll break you down because it's a new form. Make sure it's filled out properly. Yeah. Revisit your W-4 every year. This is what the IRS say. This ain't what Ryan say. This is what the IRS say. Revisit your W-4. What's something else you can do? Avoid late fees. People don't understand about these late fees. They kick your butt. I saw in the news earlier this week, I think it was Bank of America said they're going to donate $1 billion to the Black community or whatever, right? We don't understand. That ain't nothing but our damn money. They get over $1 billion a year in late fees.
Yeah.
Okay, we appreciate it. Thank you. You just gave it back to us. You know what I'm saying? But all these little things add up. And we have to become conscious of that. You know what I'm saying? Period.
Mm-hmm. And it really doesn't matter what type of job they're holding or what type of schooling that they're in, but what you just gave, just that knowledge, that's a whole nother skill and several skills that people like yourself get paid to not only teach people, but they can get paid from, let's say, the government or from themselves. And now, if I understand a little bit more about my money or where my money's going or my money situation, regardless what's going on around me, it's going to possibly make me feel a little bit safe. Well, not safer, but maybe a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, like I tell people, you want to have a short-term emergency fund and a long-term. Mm-hmm. Emergencies don't really be emergencies when you got the funds for it. You feel me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you got $1,000, $2,000 for your short term, and you got 6 to 8 months worth of your bills saved up for your long term, when that, God forbid, you get a flat tire, you ain't really tripping. You understand? And then again, that go back to what we said earlier. Now you ain't worried. Worrying kill people. You know what I'm saying? Now your mindset is in order. Things, you know what I mean? All this, even the finances that roll right back to your health. If you all concerned and worried about this, it's like I tell people about this situation that's going on now. We have to learn to be proactive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad at nothing that's going on. I ain't mad at and I know I'm kind of moving to something else, but I'm not mad at the people that's out, protesting or any of that. However, we have to be proactive because eventually we've seen this before, and then it's not a hot topic no more. But that's when you got to be doing the work. When it's not a hot topic. That's when you got to be doing. That's when you got to be mindful where your money going, because y'all cursing and fussing at the same people that y'all funding so they can push their agenda.
Giving it to.
We all played connect the dot when we was kids. We forgot. Connect the dot. You know what I'm saying? So but we got to educate the babies. You know what I mean? Period.
So now, okay, so now Mr. Holmes then gave me some good stuff as to what I can do like right away. And I think with this last point was really the parents can use, and now if the parents are in a more peaceful state of mind, that can help the youth also, because with, a lot of frustration, a lot of anger, a lot of confusion, a lot of trauma, a lot of just, stress going on, anger, pain, that is contagious, kind of what you're saying. Just because you sleep, that brain's still working. So, your brain never shuts off. It can get overloaded, but it never shut off. So now that can help the parents, and even especially the kids that want to go back and say, hey, mama, I learned this or I heard this. And, again, a lot of times facing that ridicule or not good intentions, parents might, hey, shut up. You don't understand this. You don't understand that. So what would you say would be, so that basic financial education? So, okay, it sound good what Ryan's saying, what Mr. Holmes saying, it sound good, and I think I'm following them, but I don't even know what's good, what's bad. So like assets, liabilities, some of that, basic stuff. How can you help the youth just understand that, hey, I got $100, but hey, I'm gonna go spend this $100 on some gym shoes as opposed to going and spend this $100 on something else. But I don't understand. I hear people talking about liability or asset, but I don't really know what that is.
Right. So, I have my sons, and we actually went on Facebook Live. I was breaking it down to them about assets and liabilities.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm dealing with a kid, it's really simple. I don't want to complicate it or nothing.
Yep.
An asset is something that will give you a return, that will increase in value. You know what I mean? That will produce for you. You know what I mean? You can put it to work, or it'll gain value. You know what I mean? Like a Rolex. You can say it's an asset, it'll gain value. You know what I mean? A liability is something that is going to cost you. Bottom line. And my idea of a liability, sometimes it ain't just money. It could be time, but it's gonna cost something. You feel me? People understand your time is your most precious asset. It ain't this little fiat currency. You know what I mean? Fake money or whatever. Another subject, but finds if you got $100, and this conversation I have with my oldest, got about $100-something cash, right?
Okay.
Oh, Dad, I want to go buy this controller. What? I said, how much is a controller? He was like, it's like $40. I said, so you're gonna take 40% of your funds that you grinded for to get it, and you're gonna buy a controller that you really don't need? Do you need it? No, I don't really need it. I said, okay, so what if you took that $40, you know what I'm saying, and or even that $100, let's say the $100, and made 40 off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can take that and purchase your stuff, and you still, you know what I mean? Or build like that. You know what I mean? And we had this whole conversation coming back here. But again, I don't want to make him do anything. That's his money.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna plant them seeds. I'm gonna put some water on it. I might walk away. I'm gonna come back, throw some more water on it, you know, and go like that. If I see him going the wrong way, I might, you know, hey, nudge him a little bit. You feel me? But I'm just planting seeds because I still need him to be free. You know what I'm saying? Free thinking. You know what I mean? To the best visibility at 14.
Yeah.
But
that's good.
Educate them though. You know what I'm saying? On what's an asset, what's a liability. I didn't know none of that stuff. I was grown about. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, if they and stop giving them the money in their hand. Like my little one just earned $30 from his report card. I'm gonna put the money in his hand. So when he gets to talk about he wants some stuff that he really don't want, bro, I'm waiting on him to buy it. So he can see how fast that money can go. You know what I'm saying? So he can experience that. You know what I mean? And feel it and see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But again, it go back to I can tell them all day long, but we got to do it. You know what I mean?
So now let me ask you this question because I like the point that you just mentioned. Put it in their hand. Do you think a reason why our kids are not as financially intelligent is because as adults we're just buying or giving them things as opposed to making them see the whole process? Because now if I put in your hand, I know you got money. Now you can make that decision. Going back to what you're saying about you can, you know, pay your kids a salary because you're spending it anyway. So I can go buy them gym shoes or I can give you the money. And it's a different feeling when now you got to give it up as opposed to it's coming from my pocket.
Yeah, I think it's a couple of reasons. One, a lot of us lack it. You know what I'm saying?
You
know, we lack the knowledge. That's one reason. Two, that is something that is a part of it. That's why I try to put it in his hand.
Yeah.
Like you tell the little one don't care about no money. I pay him $10 an hour. He got $20 sitting on top of the thing. It's been sitting there 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He ain't even touched it. You know what I mean? But wait, outside's still a little closed right now. But wait till we get out and he gonna want something. You get that. You know what I mean? And when he buys something for $15 and they hand that boy back $4 as a change, he gonna be looking crazy. We done it before. You know what I'm saying? We done it before, but it makes them appreciate and see, okay, well, man, I had to work 2 hours to get this money.
To get this money, 20 go.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how I be talking to my son. Hey, bro, if you getting paid $10 an hour and that shirt costs $30, that's 3 hours of your time. Is it worth that? Do you really want it? Them Jordans cost $200, bro. That's 20 hours of your time. Is it really, you know what I mean? Make them think about it in a way that's going to
make
sense to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of the stuff we be talking about, they don't care about that.
No.
They ain't paying no bills. And they shouldn't have to. You feel me? But I'm gonna make you get it. I'm putting your hand, and then I'm gonna show you. Hey, bro, listen. You get paid $10 an hour, dog. That's $50. That's 5 hours of your time, big homie. You sure that's what you want to do?
And I'm glad that you brought that Jordan point up because, you know, it's so many people, and you know, I mean, we grew up, you know, in Chicago land, so we were right here in the thick of, you know, all the winning, you know, well, all the losing, all the tough times, you know, and then all of the winning. So we really appreciate it. And, you know, so I know me and probably, you know, yourself love Michael Jordan and what, you know, the Bulls did during that run, but there's nothing wrong with going to get the Jordans. But now, if you understand what a liability or asset is as a youth, you can probably have a different conversation with your parent about you purchasing them, because now you can purchase them, for yourself, or so you can purchase them for yourself, which at some point will be a liability because they're gonna get scuffed up, they're gonna get creased up, messed up, or you can purchase them for an asset to now resell them or hold on to them until and see if they gain some more value. So I think that's a huge part, and that's why I wanted you to talk about that tonight, because now when that perception change a little bit, if it's even if and it's not the whole buy to resale, but just understanding where you're putting your money. So now if you understand that, as a youth, you can even help your family by educating them, or even be positive just by not being negative. Well, at times you can be an asset by not being a liability. Does that make sense? So you can be of help to somebody. I used to always tell my players, going back to basketball, I used to always say, listen, it's one thing if you get in the game and you don't help us. Like, you can get in the game and help us, but you can get in the game and don't help us, and I'm still fine with that. Just don't get in the game and hurt me.
Right.
Because now it's totally different. So we can be an asset. We can be helpful by just not being hurtful or being a liability. So if our youth understand that, I think that tip within itself, with the other 5 that you already gave, now we playing the long game to pass that baton, as you said.
Yeah.
Because now that information can be passed. And so now if I go to college, if I don't go to college, if I want to work with my hands or work with my mind, but we're doing that to be able to get income paid to us.
Facts. Yep.
And
I'm gonna add to this too, man. Listen, we don't live in the 60s, 70s, and 80s where one income was enough.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't the game. The game changed. All right. That was the industrial age. The industrial age is over. We are now in the information age. Whole new game. And again, inflation, taxation, bad decision making, all these things are a factor. So you need multiple sources of income. And I always tell everybody, the people you admire the most have multiple sources. The Denzel Washingtons, the Beyoncés, all these people, multiple sources of income. Mm-hmm. Okay. So and I tell my kids that. You know what I mean? Like, even if you can be a doctor, making $1 million a year, whatever. You shouldn't be living off. It shouldn't take you $1 million to live. You know what I'm saying? So 50% of that, nice little portion of that, need to be working for you. Mm-hmm. Remember, your time is your most precious asset. So make the money work for you. Because at the end of the day, I don't care if you give me $200 an hour, whatever it is, my time is still worth more than that. So I'm going to take it, cool, but I'm going to make it work for me. I'm going to take some of that bread and I'm going to make it work for me.
But your time is more than that if you understand your value with the power that you have, going back to point number 1.
Yes, sir.
And so even as basketball players, again, you work that hard, you grind, put in all that work. Parents spend lots of money so, their kids can go to school and, again, go to college and all those things. And at some point go to the NBA. But now when you get that $1 million, and which is why, say, most NBA players go bankrupt 3 years after they stop playing, because they're living off their entire salary, their entire income. But if they don't understand, so as a youth, if you don't understand what Ryan just talked about inflation, taxation, and bad decision making, well, now you don't really understand that 100,000, that million is probably going to be 600,000, 650,000 after you pay the taxes. But now you've already spent $1 million. So that tells me that you don't understand gross income from net income. So let's hit them with a bonus, Ryan. Can you break down what's gross income and what's net income? Because they told me I'm getting paid $1 million.
Again, I'm gonna give it to them. We act like we were talking to the kids. So listen, the gross is that's everything before somebody touched it. Okay, all right. That's everything you made before Uncle Sam asked for his portion. All right. Remember, I said taxation. So let's just say you made $100,000.
Yeah.
All right. In your mind, out the gate, you need to know, unless you have proper education, how to lower your taxes out the gate, about 35% of that is out the door. You know what I'm saying? It's out the door. All right. Let's say you had an agent that helped you get this money. You know what I mean? They're probably gonna want about 10%.
Yeah.
So, and they don't want 10% after you pay your taxes. They want 10% of that 100.
Right.
All right. So now you already got about 55,000 left.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is what people mess up, because they're moving like they made 100 bands.
Yeah.
And guess what? The banks, because they so slick, the banks are going to approve you for things like you made 100 bands.
Yeah.
But you really only got 55.
You're already 45 short. Yeah.
55 is the net.
Yeah.
But when you filling out these applications and you apply, they ask you how much you made that year. I made $100,000. I made 6 figures.
6 figures, baby. I'm 6 figures.
Listen, man, you mid-50s. That's what you are. All right. Okay. Now let's just see how the game could change. You made $100,000, but you understand taxation. You got tax shelter. Now that 30%, you still got to pay that agent. All right. So that 10 gone. I can't stop you on that. He don't want to help you get the job.
Yeah.
That's gone. But instead of paying 30% or 35%, now we've lowered our taxable income.
Yeah.
And you end up paying, you breaking even, or you paying $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. And all that is writing off your lifestyle because you have a business or whatever. And I can go so deep into that, it's unreal. But there are legal ways to, instead of having to pay $30,000, you pay next to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This is part of the reason 45 didn't want to show his taxes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because now the cat is really out the bag.
Mm-hmm.
But mind y'all, everybody flipping out about that. He ain't do nothing illegal.
Right.
Hopefully. Because he can really finesse the game legally. You know what I mean? Because you can do things like that. But if you don't know, you walk around 55,000, think you make 100.
Right. And living it. So the gross is all of it, and then the net is what we got after they take it. Right?
Yep, after they take their portion.
Yeah, and which goes to the point of the young lady saying, "Who is FICO?" Right? That's them people coming and getting their money. So now, assets, liabilities, gross and net income, on top of understanding that dollar not gonna stretch as long as it did when Mama was coming up. You know, you understand taxes, you know, a little bit for every dollar that you make, a certain percentage is, you know, is being taken out. So now you really, what you've talked about is just being able to move differently, move more intentional with the strategies that we're making. So even if that youth goes to a high school, goes to an elementary school, and say the parent gives them $10 a week, well, it was like $10 a week when I was coming up. It might be $20 a week now, you know, lunch, if they don't have, let's say, free reduced lunch. But now, based on how they move, they can kind of know what to do with that money. So, you know, and just that within itself makes you feel a little bit better again.
Yep.
And so now when things start to go awry, start to go crazy, when, you know, adversity hit, at least you can go back and see that you have something. And what that does is show us that we can win. Like, go back to that first hour and that last, it show us that we can do what we need to do for us in the midst of everything else that's going on.
Yep.
So that's huge. And now, not only with Simmons and Holmes Financial, where you're working with your mind, and you talked about multiple streams of income, but is you can also work with your hands. And what you do with your hands, you know, you really made it cool. And, you know, I know it's something that you had planned on getting into, but you've gotten, you know, you kind of put it on pause for a minute until you were done with, playing basketball and retired, and until your business partner was through with law school. But now you have 1865 Fashion as well, which is a fashion company, t-shirt company. Can you tell us more about that? Because now you can use the knowledge that you have from the financial education in the financial sector, but also now working with your hands with the clothing or the t-shirt sector. But it's all in the business realm, so it's still in the financial industry. So talk to us about 1865 Fashion.
So me and a good friend of mine, slash frat brother slash business partner slash my lawyer, came up with 1865. And 1865 is the year that slavery supposedly ended. Dig a little deep. You ain't got to dig that deep. All you got to do is read the 13th Amendment, and you understand that it just transformed. Okay. But we wanted to use that year because of its significance and to come up with a clothing line that represents us. You know what I'm saying? Something that our people can wear and not just be stylish and fashionable, but mean something. You know what I mean? So we started in 2012 and went on for about 4 years. And I was still playing ball. He was entering into law school, and we both kind of agreed that, we'll wait till I'm retired and he's full-time lawyer. So our plan was to do it this year. However, because of the climate that we're living in, it kind of moved a lot faster. People hitting us up like, hey, I need an 1865 shirt. I need this. Like, that's what I want to wear. So now it's the rebirth, man. So we promised the people we won't leave them again because it's significant. Like, this is what we are. I tell people all the time, we should not be celebrating the 4th of July. You know what I mean? And if you want to, that's your business. But you should not let that trump your Independence Day, which is Juneteenth. You know what I mean? Anybody that know me, I'm a firm believer in that and in my people. So, but that's what it's about, man. We actually released a t-shirt today and went crazy. My phone been kind of jumping since I've been on here. So the love and support has been tremendous from Illinois to Arkansas, Texas, and just people I know, man, just from basketball and doing their taxes and all these other relationships. And I didn't bring this up to the kids. Your network, being able to network and talk to people, man. Talk to people, be a good person, be trustworthy. People are willing to do business with people that they trust, people that have a good track record, that don't mess people over. You know what I mean? So that's crucial. Myself and my business partners are of that stock. So that's priceless in itself. So we're gonna keep pushing it, man. We have the website getting done up. We'll release that Saturday. A lot of real cool designs, some nice stuff, man. So we're excited about it.
Now break down to those that may not know, may not understand, why 1865?
Okay, so 1865 is the year that the 13th Amendment was passed. That was when they were able to get the message down to Texas and let people know that we were free, and we began to celebrate our freedom. You know what I mean? And the reason we chose that is not just because of those events, but also when you read that amendment, it basically says, and I'm gonna paraphrase it, that slavery does not exist in these United States of America, except, which is a powerful word, except if you break the law and you go to jail.
Because that's the contraction.
So the jailhouse, the prison system, and we know that, is the new plantation. You get them there, they're working for pennies or free, right? So when you read that, we chose 1865, but at the end of the day, your freedom started here. The moment you say you're free, you start acting like that and you move like that, you are free. All right. But if you allow people to have these mental chains on you, then you're not free. They've been let the physical ones go. But we all know that the physical ones, they hurt and I don't want to say anything to dismiss my ancestors, because there's always peace to them. However, those mental ones can be just as dangerous.
Absolutely.
And a lot of us still have those mental chains, those mental shackles. So 1865 is the year that they claimed that we were free, free-ish. But at the end of the day, you become free the moment you say you are, you feel you are, you act like you are.
Mm-hmm.
All right, period. And the universe will respond to that. You know what I mean? So that's what 1865 is, man. It's our baby. And like I said, man, I'm looking forward to it growing. I appreciate heavily the response that we've been getting from the public. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
And this is the latest shirt, right? You can see my screen?
Yep, I can see it, man. Yep. Yep. Okay. That's the one that we released today. And like I said, great response. Great response. And when I get off here, I'm a kind of fulfill them orders and get things going. But it's a good feeling, because hey, that's a pretty dope, man. Bruce Lee, my boy, that one right there. That go back to what we were saying on here, man. Just controlling your emotions and things like that. Like that's
being able to control your emotions. Because if you don't, then your enemies will definitely use it against you. And not even your enemies, but as you said, your job, your school, whatever it is. So we have to learn to think for ourselves. But this said, yes, all lives matter, because we're focused on, but we're focused on the Black ones right now. Okay, because it is very apparent that our judicial system doesn't know that. Plus, if you can't see the way we're exclaiming Black Lives Matter, or why we're exclaiming Black Lives Matter, you are part of the problem. Break that down for us, man, because I was talking to my wife about this, and I think that this is something that can help our youth out as well, because I always use the term, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. And it's a lot of things that our youth can get confused with, can get thrown, back to, and then can have their emotions manipulated for the good of someone else. But Black Lives Matter is a stance and a statement, but then other people see it as something that's negative and something that's a threat. But based on what the shirt says, I think that you all understand the statement more so than the political, the political side of it, what others have made it to be. So can you break down the statement when you think about Black Lives Matter?
So the reason we pushed that shirt and we made that shirt is because often, unfortunately, when we say Black Lives Matter, we get hit with this response: all lives matter.
Yeah.
So I get tired of saying it. So I wanted to put it all on the shirt, like, here, read it.
Yeah.
But it's this simple. We want to let you know, we know all lives matter.
Absolutely.
The issue is, y'all don't seem to know it.
Right.
Because they murdering us at a rapid rate. You know what I mean? So that's really what it's about. Yeah, we acknowledge it. All lives do matter. We know that. However, the reason we're screaming and yelling about Black Lives Matter is because all you gotta do is check the history. The police don't seem to care about that. The judicial system don't seem to care about that. The judges, the prosecutors, so on and so forth. So we felt like we were able to kind of get it all in that statement. You know what I mean? Like all of the little slick responses, you know what I mean? To Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, all lives matter. You know what I mean? Like that's all of it, bro. Like at the end of the day, we know.
Because right.
Know? Yeah. And if you don't know, if you don't understand, you are part of the issue. Bottom line. And when I wear that shirt, man, you got crazy responses. You know what I'm saying? Usually always positive though. I get a lot of European Americans saying, Oh man, I like that. That's dope. That's nice. Can I read it all? You know what I mean? I've had just a few that might read it and be stuck. Like, and I'll be looking like yeah, yeah, that's what it say. You know. So I feel like it gets it all, man. It gets the point across. Anybody that's ever purchased that shirt, they tell me how much they love it, and it gets the message across. And again, I'm a firm believer of controlling my energy, controlling my emotions, putting my energy where I want it to be. Yeah. I don't want to be explaining to you why Black Lives Matter. Right. Read the shirt. Right. Read the shirt.
Right. Period. And really, you know, when I think about the statement, you know, I think about two things. One, I think about me, just me, right? Like, I matter, right? I'm Black. My life matter. Let's you know, if I'm standing in a group, and yes, we all different ethnicities, all of us matter. But damn it, I matter too, right? Don't just say, okay, well, I'm gonna just X this one out. No, I matter. But also, after reading the shirt, one word that I can think about to encapsulate all of it is empathy. Can you empathize with what I'm saying? Like, can you take on my plight and just empathize? Just put your shoes, put yourself in my shoes and be able to understand it. And as we're talking to the youth and talking about solutions, you know, I think that everything that we talked about tonight is because even though we're older and we've done some of those things, you know, I mean, hell, 17, 16, 17, 18-year-old Carvel or Ryan, knowing just the information that you dropped tonight, that, you know, some of the information that I got in the last 5 years, that I'm pretty sure that you've gotten in the last 5 to 7 years, you know, but if we had it earlier, which goes back to your point, find a mentor that's doing what you want to do, but now the reason that mentor can help you is because they can empathize with where you are because they've been there. And I think after reading that shirt, the reason why people will say like all lives matter is because they can't empathize because they've never experienced that emotion. Does that make sense?
And a lot of times they don't want to either.
No,
they don't want to because you so stuck with your opinion or your feelings, your emotions that, you know, or your inability to admit that you're wrong.
Yeah,
they're not gonna see it. You know what I mean? Like, period. And them type of people, man, you don't even waste your energy on. Like, you just keep moving. Period.
You know, and I think that's another big thing there. Like, understand what matters, right? So, you know, you talk, like, the first point was understand the power of the mind, but I think that, you know, one of the last points is understand what don't matter, like what's not worth it. And as you said, you knew what you didn't want to do, so you understood what wasn't worth it. Right. And it goes back to your saying reverse engineering. But if you can close us out for, you know, like the parents have heard it, the youth have heard it, more parents will hear it, more youth will hear it, more coaches will hear it, more people across the country and the world will hear this eventually. But when you talk about, and you said it at the beginning, but when you talked about reverse engineering to be able to work that problem better, or reverse engineering to get to your solution much better and much simpler, right? It's not going to be easy, as you said, it ain't going to be easy, but to help you navigate through it a little bit. So when you say reverse engineering, break that down for us and kind of close us out for our youth to understand why it's important for them, and this would be point 7 here, like why it's important to reverse engineer all of their thoughts.
Got you. When I say that, when I'm implementing it, or if I'm sharing it to somebody, again, it go back to you have to be able to feel better than whatever it is now, in order to get to where you're trying to go. All right. So first thing I'm trying to do, man, I'm trying to take myself to that end goal, whatever that look like. Okay. Young fellas, if it's a full scholarship, take yourself to that full scholarship. Okay. Whatever you think that's gonna feel like.
Yeah.
Take yourself there to that full scholarship when you first walk on that campus. And you got it, and you ain't got to worry about no type of bill or nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you take a step back. What did you do to get there?
Yeah.
You understand? Whether it was applying, going to the gym, whatever it is, every small step, and be detailed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Be detailed and walk back and feel those emotions for what it is. You know what I'm saying? And write it down. All right. And then by the time you get back down to square one, which is in the now, it's so much more obtainable because you see you done laid out your own path.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But go on and go there first. Go there, get to the end. You got this full scholarship. You just stepped on the yard. You know what I mean? And whatever that feeling is, then step back from your parents driving you up there, or maybe you flew there because it's so far. I don't know.
Yeah.
But every little step back. Oh, I knew I needed a 3.0 to get in this school. Okay, so what classes do they need me to take? Oh, I got to take this class. I got to do this. So, okay, you go talk to your counselor. Okay, I know I need this, and I know I need to have these type of grades to get to that feeling that I had of walking on that yard with that scholarship. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is. If you want to be the employee of the month, what did the last 2-3 employees of the month do? Oh, this is what they did. They had this much in sales. Okay, cool. So if they had 30 sales, okay, 30 sales, it's 21 working days in this month. I mean, I'm gonna have to get about a sale and a half for the month. You know what I mean? So boom, I'm gonna walk it back down.
What you're doing is mental right now.
Yeah, it's mental, but you want to write it down. You know what I'm saying? You writing it down, you know what I mean? And you walking it back.
Yeah.
Now you right there today, and then you can walk your path that you already reverse engineer for yourself. That's simple, but it's a lot more difficult if you like, oh, I want to be this, and you ain't gave yourself no path. That's tough. It's doable. You can do it, but that's tough.
You're almost just fishing and you don't know what's in the lake.
You ain't got no bait on the dang on thing. You just out there. You know what I'm saying? So that has worked for me. I like to read. I need to buy me some more books that I've been reading on my phone. They don't have the same effect.
Yeah.
Really it don't. I be wanting to touch them pages. But a lot of the people and things that I've read, I'm hearing it. These folks don't know each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm talking about historically. You know what I mean? About vision and feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just about reverse engineering, man.
And also, I mean, after listening to you break this down, because I always talk about start with the ending in mind, and that's basically the same thing. But hearing you talk about it and just putting myself in the mindset and in the shoes of our youth, again, talking solutions, what I heard was starting reverse engineering this thing is really going to map out a plan for me if I don't even have a plan.
Yes, sir.
Because now, instead of paralysis by analysis, which a lot of our youth get, and that's why they scared because they want to go like double dutch. I don't even think the girls still jump double dutch nowadays, but it's almost like bobbing, in that rope. Like, do I wanna? And you don't really know what to expect, and you're afraid to fail. But if you know that, hey, I'm going to crush everybody that's out here, and I'm gonna jump the best and the longest and the most songs. Well, the first thing that you gotta do is you gotta get in that rope, right? So, but now you have that plan of, so as you said, going to college. Now I can put myself there mentally. Graduation day before I even step foot on campus, and now I'm able to give myself a plan. Okay, well, what do I have to do? All these steps backwards that's your plan.
That's the plan.
And that's your plan, as opposed to you trying to live out my plan as your coach. You're trying to live out Ryan's plan as your teacher. You're trying to live out your parents' plan. Well, now you have just put in your own plan, and it's been made by the vision or the decision that you want that end goal. So I think that's tough. Like, I mean, and that's a great ending point, because starting from front to back, you like walking blind, because you don't really know what that next step should be.
Yep.
And now we're reacting. Okay, well, is that next step, if I'm trying to do a right hand layup and I miss it, well, like, is the next thing that I should do? Should I start shooting jump shots now? You know what I'm saying? Or, right. But if I start from the ending in mind, maybe I need to just start taking one step and just get my stride together, and then working my way backwards to where I can dribble in and shoot it. I'm just not going to dribble right in and shoot, because maybe I find out that I can't dribble. So right. I think that point is amazing, that if our youth can kind of see themselves where they want to go.
Yep. And think about this. Any and everything you ever did in this life, you thought about it first.
Yeah.
Period. Even if you didn't know you thought about it, you thought about it. You know what I'm saying? But most of the big things you really thought about, like, I'm going to go to school, I'm going to go to college, I'm going to graduate.
Yeah.
You thought about it. Yeah. And then you put the action forth. So take yourself where you want to go. Feel whatever that's going to feel like. Scale it back, reverse engineer it, make your plan. And when it get tough, you take yourself to what it felt like.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the motivation, the inspiration to keep it pushing. Because it's going to be tough. If it's worth it, it's going to be tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you keep it going. You know what I mean? Like, nobody would have thought I was going to get paid to play no basketball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the cool thing about a plan or a goal or a dream, you the only person got to believe it, baby.
Got to believe it.
That's the beautiful thing about it. You know what I'm saying? You're the only person. Nobody else got to believe it. That's a beautiful thing when you have some support and some other people believe in you. And I know I have that too. But the cool thing about it, you're the only one. So it don't matter what's going on in your life, good, bad, or ugly, keep it moving, keep it pushing.
Yeah.
And just know that it's about a feeling, it's about an action, it's about the vibrations, that frequency. Yeah. Keep it pushing. You'll be good. Bottom line.
And, just in, the spirit of the show, these past few shows, talking about, the solutions for us, because we understand it's racial tensions. We understand the different race, relations. And, you and I, like, people that we know, like, we love all people, right? It's just not, we love our Black people, but we love all people if they're loving, and we, I try to work on loving those that aren't even loving, right?
Yeah.
And it's difficult, but and that's where that whole self-assessment come in, but we understand that that's out there. What we're trying to do with this show and on other shows like this is provide solutions that our youth can start to use. So in the midst of the chaos, in the midst of the adversity, they can stay grounded and they can have the proper equipment, the proper resources, the proper tools in their toolbox that's necessary to be able to withstand and oftentimes outlast what's happening on the outside, the injustices, and the play on words, right? As you talked about with the 13th, amendment, right? Yeah. That contradiction, right? We have to understand what certain words mean. So when you sitting in class and the teacher's talking, contradictions and run-on sentences and all that, and you playing on your phone or not paying no attention, you already missed it. You already got spoofed because you don't understand how to break that sentence down as you just did.
And right? It's gonna leave you frustrated the rest of the doggone subject. Whatever.
It's gonna leave you frustrated because you don't get it. And so I just want to recap basically the 7. It was so many. And please share this, no matter where you see it, when you see it, share it for somebody else, because like these practical steps, excuse me, were good to be used by others in the past. As Ryan said, when he reading books and all these people from years ago, centuries ago, and they may not know each other, but they're saying some of the same things. So information can always be passed down. So make sure that you share this information with somebody. Go back and look it over, listen to it all over again, and take some practical notes that can help you. But the 7 that I want to break down is that Ryan gave us tonight. Is the first thing is the power of the mind. We have to help and teach our youth the power of the mind, the power that they have within themselves, the things that they can do based on the largest and most powerful computer ever made. It's right inside of our head, right? People say right between these 6 inches of our ears. So we have to allow them and teach them the power of the mind, what they hold. Be positive, right? Our youth, teach our youth, and our youth have to learn to be positive. And a good way that we can teach it, and I'm gonna start using this as you say it, right? Because it's a quick flip. You can be positive by just not being negative, because now you building up a muscle and you building up a habit. Now, if I'm talking and I'm not negative, somebody gonna see me as positive because it's other people that's giving off negative. So be positive. The third thing is self-assess. Like, be able to step back and look at yourself and what you know that you can offer, as opposed to what you're offering. Know what you can do as opposed to what you are doing. Know who you are as opposed to what you are showing the world. Be able to self-assess and then say, what else can I do to improve that? The fourth thing is take advantage of that first and that last hour of the day. Take advantage, when this show is over, and like, again, and I get to point 7 in a minute, but starting with the ending in mind, understanding, don't just do things by happenstance, and at times we could be watching TV and just go to sleep. Now we woke up, in the morning or in the middle of the night, and like, man, I wasn't expecting to go to sleep. Like, as Ryan say, have intentional days. Like, no, okay, by 10 o'clock, I'm about to start shutting it down. Even if it's by midnight, I'm gonna start shutting it down. Like, know when you're about to go to sleep. Know when you're about to get up, right? Because again, you're building that muscle. You're coming up with that routine. Oh, well, I'm gonna hang out tonight, or I'm gonna hang out. Even with that, okay, the club closed at 2, or I'm, leaving whatever at 1. I'm gonna be at home in the bed by 1:30, 1:45. Now you constantly have control over you and your life and what you want to do. The 5th point was find somebody, and this is key, because the first 4 is everything that you can do. Now, the 5th point is find somebody that is doing or have done what you want to do. And by doing that, and then as Ryan said, now you got to get connected to them, right? And getting connected, think of a plug into the outlet, right? Is the lamp connected? It can't just be that lamp plug can't just be next to the outlet. It's got to be connected. So you want to get connected to that mentor, that person that has done what you're doing or is doing what you want to do. And now they can be empathetic to where you are right now in the process to be able to help you out. If that's a teacher, if that's a senior, somebody that's older than your parents, if that's somebody your parents' age, coach, whatever, but find that person that's in what you want to do. Be able to help. The sixth part and knowing that, then we got into the whole financial education, and Ryan broke down asset, liability, gross income, versus net income, tax shelters, the three things that are robbing us, inflation, taxation, as well as bad decision making. Like, that's a whole course within itself. That's a whole show within itself. But you have to know and be aware of where we put this money, because a lot of our stress, a lot of our youth stress, is probably because of their parents' stress of constantly getting up, doing things so that they can make payments on something. Everybody's getting up so that they can make a payment, if that makes sense. And so we want to get past and know, okay, well, how can we better ourselves through this process? How can I better my mama, my grandmama through this process of doing whatever they're doing, just so that they can make a payment? Well, if I can teach them how to save some money the right way that most people don't know, well, now it can be more beneficial to us also. That's kind of like 5A. And then 6 was control what doesn't matter. Like know what don't matter. If Ryan wanted to be a basketball player, so even though he may bowl, when people was going bowling, like, that don't matter if I gotta be in the gym getting ready for this game next week.
That ain't gonna get me where I'm trying to go.
Yeah, it ain't gonna get me where I'm trying to go. So I think that our youth has to know, and like, once you know where you're going, you know the things that won't help you get there.
Yep.
But just be intentional. As Ryan kept saying, intentional days. Be intentional about what ain't gonna help you get there. That's gonna make Rhino, that within itself makes things so much easier, because now you ain't giving, as you said, you ain't giving your energy, your frequency, your vibrations up, and spending your time on things that's not going to bring you a return.
Right.
And so, and as Ryan said, what's going to bring me a return? So knowing assets and liabilities don't always have to be money. Some people that we hanging around are assets to us. Some people that we hanging around are liabilities. But when we understand that concept, and that's why I said, go back and watch this over. Because when you understand that concept, you can apply that to
know your personnel. Know your personnel. Know who you got around
you. KYP. And then the seventh thing was reverse engineer. Be able to start with the end in mind. Be able to understand why things are working or should work the way that they are. If you want to get to the end of your day, right, you got to plan that day, that first hour. If you want to have a great day until that last hour, it all starts with the first hour. So if you know how you want that day to look, and then wrapping it up, if you know how that you want that day to look when you first get up, well, now you can put everything in place so that now we're being proactive instead of reactive. And yeah, I just think that all 7 of those, and with really 8, if we add 5A about the whole financial piece, and I've had a lot of shows, over, the course of this time, the last 5 or 6 shows, I had a lot of great shows, but I think that these are things, and maybe because really we're talking to the ones that we said wasn't going to college, but these can be used by anybody if they plan on going to college or not. Like, this is practical information for anybody
that you can do tonight.
Like those 8 key points. So go back and, with those 8 key points, and I may just even, do a bullet point with them, but go back and like really, really start to pay attention to those 8 bullet points, and then see how many more you can pull out. Because as Ryan said, the things that he blessed us with tonight, he having these conversations with his sons every day.
Yeah, so I think I'd be driving them crazy sometimes, but they're gonna appreciate it. They're gonna get it.
But you passing the baton to them, because when it's their time to run, they gonna know how to grab it.
Yeah,
they gonna know what. My brother used to run a relay, and they tell the person in front of them when to start running, go, and then I think it's go and hit. They let them know when they're about to pass the baton. So what you're doing right now, and the same thing, my daughter's starting a whole nother business, conversating with her, and she's finding out the, adversities and all that. But it's like, just keep running straight. And a point that you said so profoundly, we need to start helping these kids and placing these kids and not moving them.
Yeah, just look guidance. That's all they need.
Got them. And so if they can stay focused and knowing that we can guide them from the back a little bit, but giving them a little leeway to kind of move around. But if we know that I'm doing what I got to do to get ahead, to push you, so now when it's time for you to run your part of this relay race, you're going to be good.
You're going to take off.
And that's all that we want. So, yeah, we understand the discrepancies. We understand the ills that's going on. We're not blaming it all on the youth, but that's why I said we talking solutions. We can get on here and say everything is not right about the outside, about what other people doing, about what our youth is doing, or man, they tearing up the communities and do, like, we can talk about all that. But it's probably more people in those crowds that would like to do something positive than something negative. But as Ryan said, they don't have the confidence, the bravery, or the courage to stand up on their own too right now. And probably because they don't have like these 8 points that Ryan just made. So, man, I appreciate it. You already know, from the bottom of my heart, man, that, reach out to you, and, you reach out to me, and what people don't know, like, we don't even have to talk all the time, but we understand that when we come in contact with one another, we're looking to just add value to the other person.
And it's been like that since I met you. I met you through Joe.
Yep.
And it's always been love. It's always been about pouring in to each other. You know what I mean?
Always.
So you already know, man, you call me, I'm moving. You know what I'm saying? Always. I'm trying to figure out how I can help.
Yes, sir, man. And,
I appreciate you wholeheartedly. I really do.
Yeah, and I definitely, appreciate this, man. And, as always, always got notes, because I'm taking notes, and I'm gonna go back and watch it again and take notes, because I'm just a lifelong learner. But in closing us out, man, before I do, let me let you all know that you can definitely get the book, Understand the Life Through the Game of Basketball. Like the concepts that we talked about tonight as we were relating them back and forth to basketball or not. But when you understand certain principles that you can learn from even a small game with a little orange ball that can help you apply them to life, it's amazing, right? So you can go and pick up this book, and the bonus that you'll get is the second book, Creating the Perfect Storm, which is the mental side. As Ryan was saying, being able to not only self-assess, but understanding your worth, understanding who we are as, people, understanding the power that we have, the power of the mind. And with those powers, as Ryan said, our body should be able to heal itself, replicate, right, and do things. So we have everything here, but a lot of times people don't have the information to know how to start to do those things. Like the first hour and the last hour, they don't understand about meditation. They don't understand about visualization. They don't understand about seeing yourself in that moment before you get there. So once you get there, it'll be totally easy. And so this book is what it's all about, teaching you those practical steps about what athletes can do, or just anybody in general, leaders can do to put themselves in the right frame of mind so that they can perform better. So you'll get both books in the book bundle, as well as the first 2 seasons of this show, which actually has one of Ryan's other appearances on the show in that second season. So I dropped the link where you all can get that, as well as what we're doing on the 15th of June, doing it in a couple weeks, is we're having our own summer school, what we're calling it, right? We already know Hoops Mastery, where I help parents, under recruited student athletes save money on college. But everybody's not ready for that program because that's more of a personal program, more of an individualized program, and it's a nice investment. But what we said, okay, well, let's do a summer intensive because everybody's probably hasn't gotten the education that they need. Schooling and education is two totally different things. So they probably haven't gotten the education that they need, like what we poured out tonight. So let's do that and teach them basketball online in the form of our own summer school. So it's a 6-week hoops mastery intensive that we do in Rhino, where the kids write from their computer. You have so many people at this point doing drills, and that's great. But I always say none of those drills gonna matter when you get in the game and it's real life, and you're like, wait, what am I supposed to do? Like, I don't understand. So what we're doing with our Hoops Mastery Intensive is really, really giving you those nuggets and knowledge that your athletes need. So when they get back on the court, they'll just be able to flow and move. So I dropped that link too. But for anybody that want to get an 1865 shirt, get with Simmons and Holmes Financial, how can they do that?
For 1865 is you can email us because again the website will launch Saturday.
Okay.
But now you can email us at 1865fashion@gmail.com. And again, once the website is up, it'll be 1865fashion.com. But that'll be dropping Saturday. But it's just been such a great demand that we kind of did some pre-orders, man, started pushing them. As far as the tax side, Ryan at Simmons and Holmes Financial.com. Shoot me an email. Let me know what's going on, and we can kind of go from there. Again, like I said, I am not in the business of just prepping people taxes. I am in the business of improving tax situations. So that's what we do, my brother, myself. So whether it's getting them taxes in order, lowering them their taxation, or you want to look nice and represent something that's for us.
Yeah. So you say Ryan at Simmons and Holmes Financial.com?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So yeah, you all go and it's on the screen right now. 1865 fashion at gmail.com. Definitely go in, grab you one of those shirts, and the good thing about it is we go out, again, we go out and we spend money with people that we have no idea who they are, right? Mm-hmm. You spent 2 hours with this gentleman and you understand what he stands for. And so now the good thing is not only are you saying something and wearing something that's a good representation of yourself, but also that you're supporting somebody with very good intentions. So, definitely go and, grab you a shirt, as well as Simmons and Holmes Financial. As Ryan said, it's not just about doing your taxes because that's really just pushing in some numbers, but it's about you coming out and having a total conversation. And I've called you, asked questions, and you've just said some things to make not only myself and my wife just more comfortable, but more comfortable because we were more educated on the decision to make as to what we needed to do. So it's much bigger than just pushing some numbers in. How much of a tax return can I get back? Oh, Ryan, how much money can you get me back? It's way more than that. It's way more than that.
I ain't your man if them the questions you ask. So and let me say this real quick, Coach, because it'll drive my spirit crazy if I be on here 2 hours and I don't mention this.
Yep.
I am a lifelong advocate and educator about epilepsy. I also have a nonprofit that my mother and my family and I started. It's almost 10 years old. Yeah. And unfortunately lost my sister to epilepsy. And we raise awareness about people that have epilepsy, family members, things like that, and provide scholarships. We give one to Bloom Trail. That's where my sister went to school at, and also one in my alma mater, which is Philander Smith College in Little Rock, Arkansas. So shout out to anybody that's battling epilepsy. Shout out to anybody that knows somebody that's battling epilepsy. I'll always be fighting with you. I'll always be rocking with you. And shout out to any and everybody that's ever supported One Thumbs Up, because it's priceless.
Yeah, and not that I'm giving Ryan a thumbs up, but definitely, this is a representation of him and what him and his mom, stand for with one thumbs up, one thumbs up. And you do, and you and your mom do some amazing things in honor of not only your sister, but everybody that has epilepsy. So go, do your research on One Thumbs Up. Ryan Holmes, what he's doing, Miss Carol Holmes, Mama Holmes, and really, as I said, he's well known for his basketball ability, but better known for his heart for the people and being able to empower and put into other people. And so, you all have gotten it firsthand. Now, is it anything place in which they can go with One Thumbs Up right now?
Follow us on Facebook as well as Instagram, and it's simply at One Thumbs Up. One is spelled out ONE, thumbs. Make sure you put an S up, and it stands as an acronym. It stands for Offering Needed Empowerment, Truly Helping Uplift Many by Simply Using Perseverance. And that is a perfect representation of my sister, and that's her right there on the wall. But that's what it stands for. So you can follow us on IG and Facebook as well.
At One Thumbs Up. So yeah, y'all, you got a lot of homework tonight over the course of the next few days. Go grab your shirt, get your financial education in order, get you a book bundle, get your kids registered for the Hoops Mastery Intensive, and then support and get more information on One Thumbs Up and how they are helping with epilepsy. But the overall win for tonight was practical steps that our youth can use to be able to help them starting today to be able to be better and persevere. So, Rhino, man, it's been a great one. I always appreciate and don't take for granted whenever we're able to sit and chop it up, man. If you're in town or if you, back at home, man, but, from the bottom of my heart to you and yours, I definitely appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you dropping some nuggets, because, heck, I'm going to even share this with some of my school groups because it's practical and pertinent information, and as well as things that they've probably heard. But as you said, now when you're reading books and all these books, hey, if all these people are saying the same thing, somebody ain't lying.
Yeah.
Somebody ain't lying. So in closing, man, what's on the other side? Like what can our youth be hopeful for? I guess is my question to close.
For the future, they got to be hopeful for their own future. And always remember that. Yeah, we got a long ways to go, but we've come really, really far. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Your ancestors are within you, and we talking about some strong people.
Yeah,
we bend, we don't break. Yeah. Be hopeful for that. That's all we do. We bend, we don't break. And remember that. Control your feelings. Feel where you want to go, and you'll get there.
Yeah,
it's all good though. You know what I'm saying? It's all good the moment you say it is, because at the end of the day, nothing is wrong in this very moment, meaning right now, that second. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at it like that, and you persevere and you push through, it'll work out. It'll work out.
Hey man, you got me fired up, man. I've had a lot of guests on here, but this one, yeah, you got me fired up. Like, hey, put me in, coach. And that's
hey, get in the game, baby. We got to.
That we wanted to bring tonight. So yeah, man. I appreciate it again from me to you, man. Keep doing what you doing. I'm gonna keep supporting you. Hopefully you keep supporting me,
yes,
and we
sir.
can use our knowledge to continue to collaborate to be able to help our youth as well as those individuals that spend a lot of time with the youth, which is the adults as well. So, man, I appreciate you, Mr. Ryan Holmes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anytime. And in closing, as I always say, one, go back and watch this and then share it with somebody else. All right. Go back and watch it, share it with somebody else, tag somebody else, all the good things. All right. But in closing, as I always say, keep striving for the top because it is crowded as hell down at the bottom. And I think we're able to see that in real life over the course of the last few weeks. So keep pushing forward, stay hopeful, stay prayerful, keep your one thumbs up, and have intentional days. Have intentional days from here on out. So on behalf of myself and Mr. Ryan Holmes, we appreciate y'all and we'll see y'all next time. All right. Peace.